Very good afternoon, dear friends. This is Commander Sudhir Kumar on my YouTube channel Pulse Beat of India. Today I am discussing that why nuclear energy is so essential for India in the mix energy basket requirements for future. The first of all, I would like to give a little bit history about the nuclear power that Dr. Homi Bhabha, he was the pioneer of nuclear energy, and along with him, there were another nuclear scientist that was Santi Sharoop Bhatnagar and Meghnad Shah and Mr. Dr. Krishnan. Krishnan was the joint writer of paper for which C.V. Raman got Nobel Prize, and Meghnad Shah, the famous Shah Institute of Nuclear Science in Calcutta, nuclear physics, that is on the name of Meghnad Shah. So they were pioneer to start nuclear research in India, and then Bhabha established a center of nuclear science at ISC Bangalore first, and then taking some help from his distant cousin from Ratan Tata, he started the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, and later on, Atomic Energy Commission, Atomic Energy Establishment came into being, and then mm, Bhabha started the post graduation program in ISC Bangalore, and then in Bhabha Atomic Research Center also came up side by side. So this is the little bit history. Then we have progressed, and in Bhabha Atomic Research Center, the first reactor was Apsara. Apsara was a zero energy reactor. It was made with the collaboration of UK, that is United Kingdom, and it was a zero energy reactor only for the research purposes. After that, India had collaboration with Canada, and Canada has established Cyrus reactor, which was 40 megawatt, but that was also for the purpose of pure research. Then subsequently, we India had collaboration with US, and US established the first light water enriched uranium reactor of 160 megawatt at Tarapur Atomic Power Station, which is just hardly 150 kilometers away from. So that's where the first commercial reactor was Tarapur Atomic Power Station in collaboration with US, which was using near about 3 to 4% enriched uranium. And by this way, the production of nuclear power started in India, and then the nuclear power was connected to the grid of electricity, and then subsequently, then India started its own efforts, and by the same time, then there was another unit of Kandu type, that is Canada based technology for the pressurized water reactors, and that came in Rawat and from Rawat in Rajasthan, and then India established the research reactor, that is Dhurva, near about 100 megawatt, and then along with Rawat the another atomic power station came up at Kalpakam in Tamil Nadu, and then there was another site, that was Kega, and there was a format of Indian format of 220 megawatt pressurized heavy water reactors, which has come up at Kega, Karpar in Gujarat, and then Narora, and after that, then with Russian collaboration, we had gone for the VVR technology with Russia, and that Kundan Kulam in Tamil Nadu, the first and second unit have been commissioned, and now third and fourth are also going to be commissioned, because there were agitations against these power plants at this Kundan Kulam, and also there was a plan that six very high energy plants were coming up near Jodhpur in Maharashtra, in collaboration with the French government company known as EDF, Arriva, and EDF is the company. Uh, Arriva was to establish for near about the biggest nuclear power station in the world that was near about 10 gigawatt. So this is the whole history. Now the India has signed an agreement with Russia where unit third and fourth will be commissioned, and then fifth and sixth also will be coming at Kundan and they all are 1000-watt VVR technology reactors. Basically, if I look at this history, all these at present India is operating near about 22 reactors, 22 nuclear reactors at 7 sites. And these reactors are making a nuclear power near about 6,700 megawatt, but the capacity factor is very low, that is near about 65%. But with great efforts, and now nuclear fuel is available freely, that the capacity factor has gone high to 70% now. And basically, how this nuclear fuel has been resolved, because the Persian government and our honorable Prime Minister had visited so many countries, near about 14 countries, and we have signed an agreement of civilian nuclear agreement with many countries. We have become a part of NSG Nuclear Supplier Group. We are also part of now MTCR, and India is the only country which has not signed NPT, Nuclear Proliferation Treaty. We have not signed. It was NPT has to be signed if a country is going for nuclear weapons. India is the only country which has done 2 explosions and having a stockpile of nuclear weapons, including hydrogen bomb. But still, we have not signed NPT. Still, we are the part of NSG. So that's where the pragmatic relationship of present Prime Minister of India with so many countries, and this civilian nuclear agreement which has been signed with 14 countries. Even it has been signed with Australia. Australia is the biggest producer of uranium, and maximum uranium at present is coming from Kazakhstan, near about 5,000 metric ton, which is meeting our requirement. And even India is having near about ongoing near about 18 projects at different sites, and 10 more sites have been cited. Atomic Minerals Division is handling this job, and we are also producing our uranium for certain reactors. Now, India has got a profile that 220 heavy water reactors, pressurized heavy water reactors, then we are having a chain of 540 megawatt pressurized heavy water reactors, and then it will go to more than 1000. And then we are having an ongoing program with Russia, that is at Kundan, the 5th and 6th units are going to come up over there. And then Arriva, ADF also with French collaboration. If all the things get cleared, then these reactors will be coming up near Jaipur. With this projects, near about 7 more nuclear reactors, those are under construction. If it will add near about 4,300 megawatt capacity more into it. At present, the capacity nuclear power share in the entire energy share of India or in the mixed basket is only 2%. India is having near about total electric power generation by different sources near about 370 gigawatt. Out of this, only 2% is handled by nuclear power. But with ongoing efforts, we are going to add another 4,300 megawatt by 2024-25. And at present, the government is having very ambitious plan to add subsequent, and we are going to have near about 23 gigawatt by 2031. It is a very ambitious plan, but as I am MSc in nuclear physics, I did my MPhil in Department of Atomic Energy Research Project, and then I did my MTech from Bhabha Atomic Research Center, and then I have carried out extensive research on these issues. So with my recommendations, India still has gotten scope. We must expedite our resources towards thorium reactors. A long time back, we had FBTR, the fast breeder test reactors, and now we are making a fast breeder prototype reactor, which is going to be commissioned shortly. Once this reactor gets commissioned, then we need not to use uranium, because what happens, the blanket which is being used in these FBTRs, then thorium will be as blanket, and automatically thorium will be converting that thorium into enriched uranium and even plutonium, which could be used for the atomic power, which could be used even for making atomic bomb, otherwise the fuel for the advanced reactors. Even the further, there is a Gorakhpur, there is a place Gorakhpur in Haryana. Same way, there are 3-4 more sites where Indian own program of 1000 megawatt reactor, that will be the same pressurized heavy water reactor, where India has perfected its technology, starting from 220 megawatt pressurized heavy water reactors, then 540 series of pressurized heavy water reactor, then it will go to 1000 megawatt pressurized heavy water reactor. So these further sites, the approval has been given in Haryana and Gorakhpur. The construction has already started. One of my course mates is the director of that site. I am sure, even I know that it will be going at a speed and it will be commissioned as planned. But what I would like to recommend is that India, along with the thorium based reactors, we must design now SMRs, small modular reactors. Small modular reactors have become very important, because even the US, which is having near about 20% of total energy which is being produced by nuclear power, and the latest is that US Energy Department and the Secretary of US Energy Department, Jennifer Graham, the US Secretary of Energy, she said very clearly that we are going to have nuclear power as a very important element in our future programs. Even NASA and Energy Department of US, they had a plan why we cannot have SMR, a small modular reactor, on the moon itself, so that it will meet the energy requirements of future expeditions over there, and even the water demand and other things could be generated, because as the electricity will be produced over there. And then US government is also having advanced nuclear reactor technology. One side they are having a HALEU type of fuel, which is hardened and it produces a very high spectrum of energy. And this HALEU is called high assay low enriched uranium type of reactors. And in these reactors, they are having versatile test reactor, VTR. This project is going on, and this project is being funded by US to make it viable at the earliest. In VTR, the beauty is the neutrons which produces the fission reaction inside nuclear reactors. It is at a very high speed, and when their energy is at very high speed, 4-5 times higher than this, then the energy scale also goes near about 100,000 times more energy is produced in that. But to withstand that kind of an energy spectrum, and the temperature will go, different kind of materials are required for test, and US is testing all these advanced materials which could be used into advanced nuclear reactors in future. So with this, India is equally advanced. One side we are going to have the thorium based reactors, but we must concentrate on small modular reactors. India is already successful along with Russia producing a small reactor which is being used on nuclear submarine INS Arihant, which is indigenously developed by India. It means we have perfected the technology. We have also signed an agreement with Russia where India is able to now reprocess the fuel which is going to come out from this small reactor fitted on board nuclear submarine. Even we are going to store it, reprocess, and even the spent fuel we can use for other purposes and then store it as a nuclear waste finally. So all these with these all like advancement of technology and our kind of an skill which we are having among the nuclear scientists, nuclear engineers in NPCL Nuclear Power Corporation of India Limited, which is having a responsibility to construct these reactors, which is already planned at various sites. India has a very bright future. My small recommendation is because of from the five aspects, and these five aspects, if you look at it, that electricity emission. Nuclear energy is the only one which does not produce any greenhouse emissions, and it produces green energy 24 by 7 and unstoppable, and it is very easy to connect into the normal grid of other electricity generation sources, while solar power and wind energy has got certain issues to have them. Third thing, the nuclear power plants I feel can come up at the thermal power station itself because the grid and other things are already existing over there. So that will save a lot of cost, and nuclear plants could be put at the place of these thermal power stations. That will also solve the purpose of place and other things. And then industrial emission, we all know that the hot water steam is needed for so many industrial processes, say in refineries or in making fertilizers, chemicals, and these steam could be produced by the small modular reactors because the steam generation also, the thermal energy is also an output of nuclear energy, and that will be free from this. And the third thing is in transportation. The US itself is producing near about 20% greenhouse emissions by virtue of industrial processes. The same way India is also producing these greenhouse emission, green gas emissions by virtue of industrial and then transportation. So if I compare US and India, if we are using nuclear energy and if we are using steam, that it will be able to produce hydrogen, and due to the electrolysis process, and there the steam which is being produced in nuclear power stations could be used as a green source of energy and further producing a fuel hydrogen which could be replacing the fossil fuels in our transportation system. So this is the third reason that why I recommend it. And then India is not India, even the world is having water scarcity, and this water scarcity is already near about 200 billion people in the world. They are dependent on a water on desalination plant which is being put in seawater, and there lot of thermal energy which is being used, which is producing these green gas house emissions. And if we are using small modular reactors for these water plants, then it will be supplying this green energy to that, and it will be the huge decarbonization process of this planet which nuclear energy can support. And the last one, not the least, is like access of energy in remote areas. The nuclear power plants have become, especially the small modular reactor, have become such small in size, they can be put even in a half a truck size, and they could be even transported from one place to another place and can start over there. We are having the smart city programs even in every city. If we are putting SMR, small modular reactors, it will meet not only the green energy requirement, clean energy requirement, but it will have the steam, where the steam could be provided in winter season and for the industrial process. So this will certainly be the most important factor as a mixed energy bank requirement for India in future. And I am sure if India is putting efforts towards this, what I have recommended, I am sure that we'll be having the increasing, let's say, target. If we go for the thorium based reactors, or if our prototype fast breeder reactor, thorium based, gets commissioned fast, and on that technology, and then having a ongoing program towards SMR, what I suggested in a small power reactors, then I am sure we can achieve a target not only 23 gigawatt, we can touch upon easily 50 gigawatt by 2031, what we plan now. So with this, it was just, I was putting this sort of an, analysis of what important role nuclear energy can play in making India a self-reliant nation. Thank you very much.